Hey, howdy, welcome to Riddle It 3 and a map that we haven't seen in a little while, going to be Snow Plow. And what do we have? Well, in fact, we have an allied mirror matchup, which, statistically, which I'm going to say statistically, even though I don't mean statistically, it is the most boring matchup to watch, but there have actually been a couple of recent Allied versus Allied games, and they've just been crazy good. I don't actually know if I cast any of them, but they were just like awesome crazy. Anyways, one thing that I do want to mention while this game is getting underway is their names. We are going to have Tingu as the blue allies in the top left side, and in the bottom right side we do have Puzzlez. Puzzles? I'm not sure exactly. Once again, thanks to Synapse as the Cyan allies, by the way, but once again, thanks to Synapse for the overlay UI going on with the names. And oh, Tingu being super annoying and just delaying that refinery a little bit with his dog, and Puzzles, on the other hand, going to be going for the scout with his dog. So this is just super annoying because you got to use a peacekeeper, and then you don't even know, like, is this even going to work? Oh, he does get it, so going to kill the dog right there and then finish that wall off. But I do want to mention, before this game gets too far underway, and I totally forget, Saturday, September 15 at 4 p.m. GST, there is going to be a 3v3 GameReplays.org Magmageddon Madness number 2 tournament. And you know what's on the line? $215, which is why you should go sign up right this very instant. Even if you're just one person, just like clone yourself a couple times and then get 3 players together that are all actually you, and just clones of you, and then play Riddle It 3, and just, I guess you'd have to buy 2 extra copies of the game, but that's no big deal. Going to be having some infantry wars, but GameReplays.org and a fellow named Zertha, I'm not sure, but both of these players are going to be expanding forward, and that of course means base defense is exactly like that, going to be a very, permissible idea, something that you would expect to see. But anyways, we are going to see $215 in total in prize money, which that is all of the pools, or all of the first, second, and third place going to be happening there, and $185 of that is from Zarethra alone, and the remaining $30 is from Inked and Kiwi from GameReplays.org and Team Alias going to be happening there. But anyways, $120 will go to first place, $60 to second place, $30 to third place, and an additional $5 to the first player to build and use, emphasis on use, a super weapon. And can Puzzles save his MCV here? If he loses this now, that would be a huge detriment, because that early econ is going to be completely gone. And look at that reverse moving. A lot of players, when they pack up their MCVs in critical situations, they're like either charge it forward or turn it around, but he reverse moved it like a boss, exactly like he should. And now he's going to be going for the harassment, but shooting the walls, not necessarily the best choice, and then going for that laser lock to do maximum damage if the wall doesn't get rebuilt. But he is going to be going for the crush with the harvester. Is it going to be good enough? No, it's not. Puzzles staying on top of that micro. Look at that split. Dang, Puzzles, I don't think I've ever seen a game by you, but you are impressing right away. You don't often see micro like that, and especially out of me, you don't see micro like that. But then turning around and going to be taking on the masses. He might have wanted to switch that to the secondary mode just to help him survive a little bit longer while his Javelin Troopers get out of there, because you'll get owned. Anyways, we are going to see $215 in prize money, and then only if 12 teams show up. So $40 per person for first place, $20 per person for second place, and for third place, $10 per person, which is absolutely awesome, because too often these days, Command & Conquer is just like, oh, you win a tournament, okay, then you get like bragging rights and maybe a game from EA. And it's just not very exciting. And then you look at other games and like, yeah, we got a $50,000 prize pool for our tournament. And I'm like, why can't we have that? I guess I just get a little bit jealous. She should. Wow, what was that even a word? I don't even think so. But both players going to be dropping their peacekeepers out. Actually, I guess just Tingu dropping his peacekeeper out of that multi-gunner turret so that he can do extra damage, but it was not enough with those extra peacekeepers there, and just now getting that refinery, which Tingu has had that third ref for quite a bit longer. And is he going to be meching up, or teching up rather, and going for that armor facility? Probably going to be placing it on the front lines before he moves his MCV and takes another expansion. But Puzzles should really expand again himself, because he's been behind in the eco game, which has put him behind in the army game, because, you know, Tingu was able to take care of the threat back here and still have enough units to hold off Puzzlez on the front line. And are we going to see? No, it'll just be an extra barracks instead of an armor facility. So both of these players deciding, they're like, hey, you know what's overrated? Vehicles. Because we're going to have crazy infantry wars, which actually, I'm sure many of you did know this, but just in case you didn't, early infantry can be crazy, crazy, crazy good if your opponent is going for anything like greedy or even just macro-oriented in general. If you just go for that macro and your opponent goes for some crazy peacekeepers or some crazy conscripts, they can do insane amounts of damage before you even know it, especially peacekeepers up close. But he is going to be using his peacekeepers, interestingly enough, Tingu, good move by him, but using his peacekeeper's special ability to take, so he moves them into the range of the multi-gunner turret, and then they start attacking the peacekeepers instead of attacking the, never mind. I guess the focus firing out of Puzzlez was too good, but with the auto turret target, why can't I speak? With the auto target, they attack the peacekeeper, which is of course in that advanced armor mode. They've got their bulletproof shield up and allows them to tank way, way, way more damage. And then, while on the other hand, his javelin troopers are in position dealing damage to those turrets, but two multi-gunner turrets going to be out of Puzzlez, so he is doing a really, really good job holding his front line despite being at an eco disadvantage. And actually, he hasn't even grabbed his oil derrick. What is up with that, Puzzlez? Tingu grabbed his oil derrick like he should have, but then Puzzlez is like, nah, man, I don't even need 3 bases. I don't even need, oh, cryo shot could totally destroy this entrance, but is it not? It is not going to be good enough to take down those defenses, not even enough to freeze them and stop them from, you know, doing that massive amounts of damage. But the peacekeeper shields are going to be too good, and the focus firing not good enough out of Puzzlez, so Tingu is going to be able to march on in here. Just kidding, extra base defenses going down, and actually able to freeze a couple of peacekeepers. Actually, I think that's already a dead peacekeeper, and able to snipe the multi-gunner turret, so Puzzlez is no way out of it yet. If he focus fires properly and stops shooting the units that aren't shooting him, he will not be in too bad of shape. If he can pump out a couple more peacekeepers and even maybe some dogs while they're attacking this multi-gunner turret, wouldn't be a bad idea. If he can get that amplified bark off, it might be worth it. But then Puzzlez going to be garrisoning the building, actually might get another peacekeeper. Is he going to get it? No, just barely out of range with just a pixel of health or so. And there comes the armor facility. Interesting choice going with the Guardian tanks, which of course he had to get the heightened clearance for, which is, you know, like 1,000 credits or something. I do forget how much that is, but that does allow him to crush infantry, unlike the Riptides. And he is going to be focusing down this building using the laser painter to do that extra damage, which, however that works, you just like paint the target for an airstrike and then just does extra damage from ground units, which would be a crazy idea in real life. But the javelin troopers going to be garrisoning that building and attacking the peacekeepers. That is not what they want to be doing, but the Guardian tanks are going to be here to do extra damage, and they do not get the crush on that javelin trooper, so he's still going to be around to do extra damage. But the Guardian tank is going to be able to run over a couple of units, and he needs to run over a couple more to make it worth it. Although he might just get taken out by this multi-gunner turret if he's not careful, and it will go down right there. And then Peacekeeper hops right in and is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to these Peacekeepers. Needs to make sure he stays on top of that micro. Puzzlez does, but is he going to be advancing? Oh, he was able to take out that refinery, at least sell it off, or force the sell off at the very least. And all of these Peacekeepers, Tingu really needs to work on, well, I don't want to say work on, but he really needs to focus on switching out these Peacekeepers to make sure that, you know, the ones that aren't attacking, the ones that aren't getting attacked are doing damage. Otherwise, they're just going to all sit there and take damage and eventually die, which is no bueno. And actually, he's going to get back here and do some damage to a power plant, which is super annoying to deal with. So now Puzzlez is like, well, do I pull units from the front line, which is what he should do to avoid that cryo shot. And you've got to use that tier 1 cryo shot directly on the tier 1 building if you want to freeze it. Although tier 1 infantry freeze a little bit easier than those buildings, but Puzzlez able to use that cryo shot perfectly. Tingu not having as much success, but he's having great success with those Peacekeepers heading around back with the flank, and both of these players going with the crazy tier 1 strikeout. Going to be one bullet or one missile is going to be enough from that multi-gunner turret. So good use of the cryo shot by Puzzlez, but good use of pressure out of Tingu. His attacks haven't been as good as they could have been. those Guardian tanks not doing as much damage. At least the one didn't do hardly any damage, and then the other one was able to crush. I'm not sure if he was able to crush his value in infantry, but he was close if he did not get the crush. But single Peacekeeper going to be moving out on the right side of the map, possibly just for scouting. I assumed when I first saw that on the minimap, I was like, oh, it must be an engineer to capture the oil derrick, but just kidding. It must be a scouting Peacekeeper. Either that or he's like, hey, you're my hero commando Peacekeeper. And no, he's not going commando. He is a commando. And he's going to do some damage to this oil derrick, maybe kill it eventually if Tingu doesn't do anything to stop it. Tingu, what do you have working on right now? He's going to be moving his MCV, I'm assuming, to set up a back expansion over here, as he has already taken this base with one of those outposts, and leaving the Peacekeepers in those turrets in the event that a all-out infantry attack does come, and this one multi-gunner turret over here definitely being very, very useful in the overall game, but it does look like the Javelin Troopers are going to hit it, and the sell-off does happen, so Puzzlez able to get his money's worth out of that turret, I would say, and then loading up that multi-gunner turret with an extra Javelin Trooper. Where is that going to be going? Is he going to be going for the, Cryocopter Vindicator combo, and is the micro going to be good enough out of Puzzlez? I think it will be, but we have no guarantee, and right here, this will see it. Yes, just one bomb. You have to be fairly quick on that. It's not the craziest micro ever, but you do have to be fairly quick on it to make sure that you don't waste 2 bombs and you're able to do maximum damage, because, oh no, the multi-gunner turret going to scare this attack off, but it has done damage. If those units do not get killed, it will have done enough damage to warrant it. Assuming he can put those units to use later on, just needs to not lose them and needs to switch the attack from that. Oh, was able to get both of those targets, so Puzzlez got to hand it to him on the micro. I thought he was just going to go for the IFV and then have to hightail it on out of there and skip on out of town. But, oh, the cryo shot tier 2 is now done for him, and he is going to get he is going to get about 5 Peacekeepers and a couple of base defenses, but the cryo shot is done. The tier 2 is done for Puzzlez as well, and Puzzle hitting back hard, able to freeze 4 or 5 of Tingu's Peacekeepers, and now the Peacekeepers for Tingu going to be moving with that Javelin support. They will be able to take out aircraft actually pretty easily as well, but it's mostly the buildings with that laser lock ability, and Puzzlez has to be really careful that he doesn't lose too many aircraft because he has invested pretty heavily in those, considering his opponent has been building his army up or has been building a stronger ground army. Just kidding, because Puzzlez once again has managed to hold off Tingu. I thought Tingu would have been able to push further forward with that attack and do more damage, but he was only able to take out a couple of base defenses, which is a pretty huge deal because those base defenses have been the only thing keeping Puzzlez in this game for most of it. And going to be going for that harassment, not going to be able to take out that oil derrick quite yet, but the Prospector will escape onto land, and now the IFVs are like, well, what do we do? Because we haven't been told to attack anything, but the 2 cryocopters, will it be good enough? One of these will probably get taken out if the focus firing is, if Tingu is on top of that focus firing, they would have been able to take out one of those cryocopters, and then probably eventually the other one. Oh, just kidding, 3 IFVs are going to be enough to take out those cryocopters, and then shrinking them down, which is always a curious move because it allows your opponent to move faster and get a lot closer to your units, even though they do less damage. Wow, that was a horrible sentence and a horrible amount of talking that just was. It was just very unclear and not on top of my casting for whatever reason. I have been tripping over words all day today, and I do not know what the problem is, but a couple of multi-gunner turrets going to be thrown down, and he may even advance his MCV even more just so he can get in range of the MCV for Puzzlez, because if he throws one down over here, it should be out of range of this multi-gunner turret, but he will still be able to do damage to that Carnyard. At the very least, force back that build radius. And oh, IFVs, they are going to be good enough to get taken out, and there goes that oil derrick. But the cryocopter going to be able to take down that multi-gunner turret, or at least freeze it in its tracks. And jumbling up on the Javelin Troopers, which is a curious choice because IFVs don't have that much health, and so if you're not on top of that micro and ejecting those Javelin Troopers from that, then you'll just lose 2 units for the price of 1. And are they going to be able to do enough damage? And they are just going to pull back. And look at that, staying on top of that micro. Tingu is going to be able to save that Javelin Trooper and then load it up into another unit if he so chooses, like a base defense. Wouldn't be a bad idea considering Guardian tanks are now out, at least kind of enforced. And is the split going to be good enough? No, he will freeze 1, 2, 3 Peacekeepers, and he's going to get the Guardian tank, and he is going to get the multi-gunner turret as well. So now the cryo shot has to be just as good out of Puzzlez. If he can get this unit group right here with that base defense, that would be huge, but he has lost his opportunity. Puzzlez, what are you doing? He is backing up his MCV, so he can't use any more of those support powers and going to be doing some damage to these Peacekeepers. They tried to make something happen, but they weren't able to do it. And Puzzlez, can you make it happen? This would be a beautiful spot to use that tier 2 cryo shot right here, right now, and then push forward and do some massive damage. Will it be good enough? No, he is going to be holding off on it. And the Javelin Trooper is going to be left here to take out that refinery, but the sell-off is going to be happening out of Puzzlez, and he is going to be turning that into a command hub, into an outpost, so he can get that cashback reward on it. It's like one of those credit reward cards that banks are always advertising, except it's actual money right then that you get to use and then re-spend, which is a better deal than I can think of for many, many things, especially mail-in rebates on computer parts, because it's been like 5 years and I still haven't got it. But you know what Puzzlez did get? He got the kill despite having that IFB right down. Oh, he even gets the shot over here. That's what he was using his tier 2 cryo shot for. He was able to freeze down another refinery and take it out, but the Harvester is rebuilding, only 1,000 credits for allies. And he should just sell off this multi-gunner turret. Will he even get another kill? Probably not, especially not with that laser painter happening. And that Peacekeeper does not take very much damage from the multi-gunner turret. Should have just sold that off, but didn't get the opportunity. And now he is going to be moving forward while Tingu is slightly out of position, only slightly. It did just take him a couple of seconds to regroup his forces, and losing 3 Guardian tanks there. I don't even know if that was worth it. He's taking so much damage in army, and although he has been able to do some econ damage, he hasn't had very many bases over the course of the game. He's only had those 3, and he's taken some econ damage himself. He had 2 for the longest time, and then just securing the 3rd just a minute ago. And then taking some econ damage himself, which caused him to lose some mining time and even remake one of those harvesters as well. And now Tingu just pushing forward, and he is going to be able to do damage, but he's not running over the infantry. And look at that, twice trying to run over that infantry, and since he's trying to focus it down, the Guardian tanks were able to do extra damage to the Guardian tanks of Tingu. So good on Puzzlez, or I guess bad micro out of Tingu allowed Puzzlez to do some extra damage. For whatever reason, those 2 Guardian tanks were like, no, I don't want to run someone over. That's not cool, man. My morals do not support that kind of action, which good on those Guardian tanks sticking to their guns in the face of adversity. So Tingu being a horrible commander and telling them to run over people, which of course in real life would be pretty awful, but in a game, these people are not real. And look at that, the cryo shot almost completely missing everything. Going to be getting a single power plant, which actually was a pretty huge deal because now he's out of power. Puzzlez, will he be able to do anything with this MCV? He's going to take pretty massive damage from these units, especially if they can get it to stop long enough for a laser lock. But the Guardian tank is going to be painted, and this Guardian tank for Puzzlez is like, hey, I'm not going to be doing anything, and he is going to be returning, or he should have just backed out of there, but he is going to be taking damage to the rear and side armor, and there goes that unit. Not able to keep that heroic Peacekeeper. I don't even know. I guess I'm just tired or something today. But Guardian tank, will it take one more shot? If Puzzlez can get it, that will allow him to possibly take out these other IFBs. Just kidding, they are heroic and elite status. So I don't know, could they take one Guardian tank, considering this Guardian tank would probably be able to get off one shot? And is the high ground going to be good enough? I think when he swings over here with his ore collector, he will be able to attack. No! Actually, yes, right there, going to be able to get off a single salvo of rockets to do some damage. And then this lone Peacekeeper, which is just going to be running around the map and actually never rebuilding. Oh man, Tingu, what is going on with your harvesters? I'm pretty sure he didn't do that. I'm pretty sure that's just some sort of glitch that ended up happening to him. So poor Tingu losing more mining time than he should, at least over here. some sort of harvester glitch happening right there. Really too bad for Tingu, and that is going to cost him quite a bit of money over time. He's only got that one base, while on the other hand, Puzzlez is rocking those 3 refineries, and he is doing with that 3 full-time production, which is allowing him to produce all of these tanks. And now Tingu is like, where the heck is all of my money? Why don't I have any? Just kidding, he does have those 2 bases, but still he should have 4 up and running at this point. And 3 Guardian tanks are not going to be enough to seal the deal, because we do have 4 out of Puzzlez, and they're going to chase these Guardian tanks right on out of there. And the Guardian tank, one of them is going to turn around and do some extra damage and try and slow this unit group down for Puzzlez, but Puzzlez will get the angle is pretty good for him. 1 tank will survive. No, just kidding. It is going to turn to do some harassment to this ore collector. He won't be able to get the kill, and now Puzzlez should be able to cut him off. But will he lose a tank himself? He does have a heroic Guardian tank, and during that time, Tingu decided not to engage. He's not going to press his advantage, which I don't even know if he has an advantage anymore, just because his economy is just now getting back on track up to those 3 refineries to finally match that of Puzzlez, which he should be back at 4 by now, but I guess he just doesn't have the cash. He is instead going to turn that into a command hub and then sell it off, because you're going to get a free harvester with that purchase of the refinery, so might as well get some cash out of this command hub. And is he paying attention? No, so that cashback rebate will have to wait for a little while, hopefully not 5 or 6 weeks. But now the scout out of this peacekeeper is like, hey guys, what is happening? I am going to just run through your base and see what is going on. But the Guardian tank is going to be chasing him down. Will the pathing be good enough? Yes, I think it will. No, just kidding. Oh yes, I was serious the first time. And it looks like Puzzlez is going to be pushing forward in this game, being absolutely wonky with so much infantry in this game that it is just silly. They haven't even gotten up to that tier 3 in such a long time. It's just silly, and the cryo shot is not going to be good enough. I don't even think even with the tier 3, he was able to nab 3 units, and he's going to be able to grab that base defense, but there's nothing from Tingu here to do the damage. And the cryo shot out of Puzzlez actually doing some damage to his own units. He was able to do some damage to Tingu there, but going to be losing, a heroic Guardian tank, and giving that heroic status to Tingu instead, and just ceding that to him. And the MCV on the move, which means the base defenses are powered down, but the MCV is going to be enough with these forces to chase this army away. And they're not going to pursue to that multi-gunner turret. He could have got the kill there, but committing those forces would have been too great a cost to make it worth it. So that multi-gunner turret will eventually get its life back and get its blood flowing again, because cold blood is not what you want. Not that you want blood as a multi-gunner turret, that's just, I don't even know where I was going with that, but the multi-gunner turret is going to be the focus, which means this tank is going to take some serious damage to the rear armor, and we do have heroic Guardian tank versus heroic Guardian tank, but the rear armor is no good. Puzzlez turn this tank around. There you go, tear that wall down. No, just kidding, taking extra damage right there, and this Guardian tank does go down, which means he has nothing left that is attacking. So once again, Tingu is going to have favor swing into his court, and now the ball is in his court. He's got an advantage. He is back up to those 4 refineries, unlike Puzzlez, who is only at those 3, unfortunately for him. And now I think, no, Athena cannons. Puzzlez, what in the world are you doing? He's up to tier 3, and Tingu is not going to be able to match that. Just now going to be getting out that tier 3 maximum clearance upgrade. And Puzzlez, I was gonna say Tingu has the advantage, but this tech is absolutely huge. You guys have seen, if you've seen some of those previous games with Athena cannons, you know just how powerful they can be. They are absolutely crazy when used properly. Players will just sit there and micro Athena cannons 5 and 6 at a time and just shoot each other with them, and this MCV will take some serious damage. Going to be packing up to get on out of there. He doesn't want to lose that MCV and then lose his building ability. And was he able to get the tier 3? I don't think so, because he's not building anything out of there. So he was waiting for that maximum clearance, and he needs to be really careful with the Athena cannons. Needs to get them out of there. Going to be able to kill a couple of peacekeepers, but the heroic Athena cannon will go down right there, and not going to be able to get any sort of veteran status on those tanks. But the Mirage tank is out. He needs to be extra careful with those, and he was able to snipe one of the Mirage tanks, but losing a Guardian tank and a Peacekeeper as well, while the Athena cannon's Aegis shield is going to be protecting Puzzlez from some extra damage from those units. Wow, this game definitely took a turn. That tech out of Puzzles was probably what caused him to not have units for a little while. Then he was like, hey, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to get that tech, and now I have an advantage. And now he is going to have to restart that tech. No, that is not the maximum clearance upgrade. Maybe a refinery if he is going to be going for that to get his economy back on track. No, an extra barracks instead. So now he's going to go for the tier 3. He is building a base defense, most likely a Spectrum Tower. Actually, no, he doesn't even have the tech for that. So, oh man, he does not have a battle lab or technology center or whatever they are called in this game. I can't actually remember. But that those headquarters which you need for that tier 3, not going to be able to get it, and which means of course no Spectrum Towers as well. But on the other hand, Puzzles must have sold that off as well. No Spectrum Towers for him. And what in the world is this going on? An outpost possibly for this expansion wouldn't be a bad idea for Tingu, but this game dragging on a little bit as both of these players are trying to sit back and figure out how to win this game. And if he takes this expansion, wait, there is no expansion over there. What am I talking about? If he takes this expansion over here, that would be a pretty big deal. But a single Mirage tank is going to be able to take out this expansion for Puzzles. It'll be able to take out Tingu's expansion for Puzzles, and even going to be losing a power plant, which cannot be good. That's going to be 800 credits down the drain. Just gone. There you go. You spent it, and you delayed the destruction of this refinery. Will it be enough for this Guardian tank to get up here? I think it'll just be barely, depending on if the reverse move is good enough, and now this Mirage tank is trapped behind enemy's line. Behind enemy's line, he's trying to find the sweet spot. He is not going to find the sweet spot, but he is going to be able to destroy that refinery and lose his life. I would say that was worth it. He caused 2,800 credits worth of damage for only like 1,400 for that Mirage tank. Woo! Both these players absolutely doing great in this game. Actually, not doing great right now, but giving a great show for us, which is pretty nice to have. And that is going to be the maximum clearance upgrade building right there, unless I am mistaken. And it is just a delayed refinery because of that income. He does not have a whole lot of income, but he is going to be going for that refinery after this. And going to be, oh, Puzzles just occupying a building. He is the 93% of the people on this map. No, just kidding. He is going to be the 50% occupying that building, taking it over with a single peacekeeper. And he's like, hey, I don't even care. I can see this army now. I know what is happening. And I'm even going to station a couple more peacekeepers just to slow you down a bit more. He could actually try and take down that bridge. Oh my gosh, I missed that. I am sorry about that. I missed that entire attack. The Athena cannons, everything got taken down by that cryo shot. So Tingu able to clean up, and why he didn't continue to engage is beyond me, because he definitely could have taken Puzzles base at this point with those units. He would have lost quite a bit, but I think he would have been able to win this game. And now he is going to be going for more of a tactical advantage, focus on just taking down Puzzles bit by bit, taking the pieces out and just destroying them one at a time. But the Athena cannon going to be good enough out of Puzzles to do some damage to that Guardian tank. And now he is going to be sniping individual infantry units. But oh, good enough to take out all of those Javelin troopers. And now this Mirage, oh no, he did get the Guardian tank as well. Oh man, that is just cannot feel good. So actually, Puzzles able to do some damage and take out that bridge. I didn't think he had anything in position to do it, but turns out he did. And actually, Puzzles finally grabbing that ore refinery. He has had it for a little while, but I did in fact miss that. And going to be moving forward with infantry, which is a curious choice to just sacrifice these infantry like that, because you'd think at this point he wants to conserve his units and save them. But oh, even the Peacekeeper getting sniped and giving the rank up for that epic status to that Athena cannon. And eventually this Peacekeeper will wear that building down, but he should probably just sell it off. And oh, the outpost, the slow stab is going to be winning the day here, but that refinery, that harvester is going to be getting on out of there, and it will get taken out. That rear armor, no bueno for Puzzles. And now Tingu is going to be able to pick apart that base, or that refinery, bit by bit. And oh, Tingu throwing down that barracks right into the line of fire. The worst placement for that barracks, taking over half of its HP instantly away from that Athena cannon. He's like, hey, you want to give me some free damage to that barracks? Fine, you can do what you want. And now the Mirage tank going to be out of Tingu, or out of Puzzles, but to take out this multi-gunner turret out. Oh man, I'm not even going to try that. You know exactly what's happening. Mirage Tank taking down that multi-gunner turret out of Tingu, and it does look like another building must have got taken down, maybe even sold off, but no, it would have gotten taken out by those Athena cannons. One of them is going to be veteran and one epic, but just so many tanks. Well, not that many, but quite a few tanks for this game, considering how few tanks there have been for the majority of that, and so many peacekeepers rather out of Tingu. I think if he could probably just control or just hit A and bum rush this base and probably win the game. He just has so many forces, and the economy in the long run paying off in a big way for Tingu. I think he'll be able to take this game, but I'm not positive, because Puzzles has shown once again he has brought Christmas trees. That is his advantage, Christmas trees. You know why? Because it's a fern tree with snow, which makes it a Christmas tree, dang it. No, but he's going to have bringing the fir trees, or maybe those were pine trees, to the fray, and he's like, hey, you know what I've got? I've got trees on my side. What do you have? Did you see Lord of the Rings? Mother, father, ants. They're going to be doing massive damage to this army. Anyways, Tingu could probably take this game. He just has so many forces in the economy going to be working out for him in the long run, but we have seen Puzzles do some pretty good micro over the course of this game, and even with the Athena cannons just picking at Tingu's army and just taking bit by bit, just taking it away, and doing a little bit of damage here and a little bit of damage there. And if, can he get and the multi-gunner turret will be enough to take down the Athena cannon. I think the Athena cannon will be able to escape. No, it won't. A big misstep by Puzzles, because, hey, that was his artillery, so there it goes. It is gone. No, just kidding. He has another one back here. It's just chilling out here, and it does look like actually with a couple of extra units here, and I don't know how that Mirage Tank turned into that, but whatever. That Mirage Tank going to be sitting right there. That pile of rocks, I saw it transform with my own eyes, but it is going to be Puzzles. He was able to snipe down that Riptide, and there goes that spy sweep. But the Riptide actually going to be enough to take down this Prospector and shoot it up, and just a couple more shots will be able to finish that off, and then he will start taking out that refinery as well. And the Mirage Tank going to be transforming, I guess, into a pile of rocks again, probably right there, and then the Athena cannon will be doing the long distance damage to these units, and this might actually be the time to move in. Just kidding, there's another Athena cannon out for Puzzles. And he does have a Mirage Tank way back here, which is a curious choice considering the imminent threat that is sitting just right over here from Tingu. I think Tingu probably could have won the game by now, and now he's just trying to sit back, and I guess he's just waiting for his advantage to be so great that he will just be able to crush Puzzles. But Puzzles, every moment that Tingu waits, I would say Puzzles is getting a closer and closer army to that of Tingu. He's getting closer and closer in army size to Tingu, and he's getting a better and better chance every moment that goes by of winning this game, and of at least having a solid chance, able to get the Harvester but not the refinery until the next shot right there. Was able to clean up a multi-gunner turret and then the refinery, and going to be getting another multi-gunner turret right there, or in a moment, unless Tingu sells it off, but it was able to sell off that Prospector. Should have been sold off a while ago, I think. And that pine tree suddenly had an urge to, sway violently for just a moment there. But, the Peacekeeper, will it be good enough? And then I think the Athena Cannon is just like, hey, I will turn around and then not decide what I want to do. And the Athena Cannon, what in the world is she trying to do? She is going to be going for the death option, because if these infantry get in range, she will go down fairly quickly. Needs to be back here with the army. And Tingu, what in the world are you doing? You were just sitting back and trying to just press your advantage, because there's, of course, two ways to press your advantage. Well, two broad ways to press your advantage. One, active and passive. One, active is, trying to get in and finish the game, and the cryo shot is definitely going to be good enough to freeze those Christmas trees. And no, the Aegis Shield is actually going to save the Athena cannons, but not save all of the Mirage tanks. So, not going to be good enough, unlike the cryo shot over here, which is going to be good enough. And actually, that precision bomber not going to be good enough. So Tingu is going for the, just kidding, where did you come from, aircraft carrier? So Puzzles so full of surprises in this game. Tingu playing strong, but will it be enough? He is just going to try and march in here and rush everything over. Of course, active and passive ways to press your advantage. And is the aircraft carrier going to be good enough? Not able to actually take out more than just one of those units. And if Tingu just presses forward with all of his infantry and gets them firing at the same time, he will decimate this army. And by decimate, I do not mean reduce by a factor of 10. And the precision bomber, good enough out of Tingu, able to do that damage. But now they are going to be walking into the mouth of this beast and not going to be turning around. Puzzlez, I think that was your best chance to engage right there. I think that was going to be it, but the Athena cannons good enough to take out the aircraft carrier. Now Puzzlez is like, hey, I will make my final stand where I choose. Sybert, you do not get to choose where I make my final stand. I will determine it for myself. I'm the master of my Red Alert 3 destiny and all of that inspirational stuff that they say in movies. But the army for Tingu going to be pushing forward and even getting a peacekeeper kill and then going to be working on this base. So this is where Tingu is like, hey, I've been passively pressing my econ advantage and now I am going to be going for the throat. But just kidding, because Puzzlez is like, okay, I can't win on the army front, so I'm going to swing around back and then actually go for a base race, and this could be absolutely devastating. Just kidding, because Tingu is like, hey, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing, and I'm going to play that game because I'm going to catch you with the flank. I'm going to cut you off at the pass over here and then swing around with my army because you still have to kill. No, just kidding. He was actually able to kill all of the meaningful buildings out there, which means it's just this is going to be the furthest building right here. If he can protect his MCV, then I think Tingu will be able to win this game. In the meantime, oh no, Puzzlez, you didn't. Yes, you did. Able to sabotage that bridge and no engineers to repair it at the moment, which means base race is still on, but I think Tingu will be able to take it. Oh no, the MCV has moved out onto the water for Puzzlez. So this game's shaping up. It wasn't a lull, and now it's shaping up to be exciting once again. Both of these players doing so crazy in this game, doing just crazy things. And I don't even remember what that's called, like chrono shift or something. I think that's the first time I've actually seen that in a multiplayer game. I've used it a couple times, but other than that, I just haven't ever seen it. And the Mirage tank is going to be good enough to, oh no, it's not. It is going to be good enough, but mutually assured destruction once again, in the Athena cannons are going to be taking some damage from this Javelin Trooper, and oh, able to get the crush, just one hit away from death. And Tingu, I thought he was going to be able to do it. Oh, if he could have got that bridge, that would have been insane damage. Oh, yeah, Puzzlez, what are you doing? Every time I think you're going to die, you come back and you're like, no, I am not dead. I am still in this game, and I am a contender for this victory. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Tingu could win. Tingu could get destroyed. I do not even know, but if this Athena cannon will go down, will she be able to get one more kill? No, the Aegis shield not enough to save her there. And even this Riptide is going to be another unit, just one slight Peacekeeper hit away. Peacekeeper from like 20 feet. Just shoot him with a single BB from that shotgun. A single pellet from that shotgun would be enough to finish off that Riptide. But Puzzlez, are you going to be able to make a comeback? You've done some insane amount of damage, and you kept yourself in this game longer than I thought you would. Tingu is no scrub. He is a difficult player to beat, which means Puzzlez is not doing too shabby himself. And look at this, even Tingu going to be eliminating this oil derrick, so going hit for hit, even if it's separated by like 20 minutes, as Puzzlez did take away this oil derrick over here. And now all of the bridges have been destroyed on this map, so just this central island or central strip of line connecting these two islands. I cannot talk at all, and paying for that tier 3 long ago ended up paying off in the long run. And the aircraft carrier, will it be good enough to finish off the game? Selling off this multi-gunner turret wouldn't be a bad idea. Won't get too much use out of that, and it will not prolong Tingu in this game anymore. But Tingu going to be not out of this game. He is still going to be fighting for it. And if he can keep this oil derrick, which I don't know if he will be able to, he should be able to keep it, as the aircraft carrier should be able to refuel those drones just in time. But will he keep it or not? I do not know. Spy scan going to be going down for Tingu. He is going to be able to spot that harvester, that refinery, and then, oh no! That chrono shift once again, and it caused the drones to crash, which may have prolonged. No, the Peacekeeper will not be able to get it, although if Tingu is on top of the micro, he will be able to No, just kidding. What in the world is happening? Athena Cannon getting taken out instead, and the Peacekeeper will have enough damage, I think, to finally finish off that oil derrick. Just 1 or 2 hits away, just 1 hit away now, and the repair is going to be good enough to save it for another moment, and that Peacekeeper is going to survive that blast. And now they're desperately, both players, trying to take down the other one faster, and who will get it? I don't even know, because both players are fairly well spread out, and oh no, he did lose that refinery, which means I would give the advantage to Tingu just because he has the econ advantage, although he is certainly not pressing it here, and he needs to sell off that command hub. It has been absolutely no use to him, and going to be taking out the expansion. He needs to, I don't know if he has anything, I don't know if Tingu has anything to deal with this aircraft carrier. He doesn't have an armor facility, and he doesn't have enough money. He's just getting that 1 ore collector. Luckily, he does have that advanced income, whatever that upgrade is called, that support power, whatever it is called. And now we do have a heroic aircraft carrier out on the field, combined with a assault destroyer and assault destroyer. And I don't even know what's going to happen. This game has been so crazy with both of these players doing such weird things and starting out with such a weird beginning, and then this is just such a crazy finish. And Puzzlez has been able to hold on to this power plant this whole game. Never did lose it, and every time I think, aha, yes, Tingu is going to be able to take this game, no, Puzzlez is like, no, he is not going to be able to take this game because I am still here, and the Aegis Shield going to be good enough, but not going to be good enough because still taking damage from that. Oh, and able to snipe the Harvester, but from the Riptide. And is the Cryo Shot good enough? Yes, it is, freezing just the stuff on the water, not actually the water itself, and now the Aegis Shield is going to be good enough to protect that Athena Cannon. Unfortunately, they do not move while they've got that Aegis Shield, so you have to be darn sure about where you place it down, because that is where your Athena Cannon is going to be. And he still hasn't sold off that outpost, but he is going to be getting back this Prospector back to work, so he needs to be getting this one on the short haul to that depleted ore collector, and the Riptide able to take out a single Peacekeeper. But then, oh, the Dolphin's going to be good enough to take out at least the Harvester, but will they be able to take out the remainder of these forces? I am not sure. Splash damage on those 2 buildings, getting 2 for 1, 2 hit for only 1 for the price of 1, but the Chrono Shift going to be good enough. I don't even know if I'm using the right name anymore, but oh, then where is... what in the world was that? I guess it was just another Chrono Shift. I thought it was going to be a precision bomber happening, but the Riptide, which is now a veteran, a heroic Riptide, and selling off those buildings at just the right moment, should be able to take out both of these Dolphins if he gets the torpedoes in on this action. And right there, jumping over, that is not an ability you see used very often. Of course, Dolphins can jump over a unit or even a structure in some cases to avoid damage, but the assault destroyer is going to be good enough in combination with the aircraft carrier, because I don't think there's anywhere on this map that water from that aircraft carrier, the bombs from the aircraft carrier cannot reach. I do not think there's a single spot, but 2 more Dolphins. Are they going to be good enough? No, they won't be good enough to take out that Riptide ACV by themselves, but oh, with the precision bomber, it will be good enough if he can get the shots off, and if he can stop the healing from happening, and able to grab 2 of those chevrons for that epic status and selling off, this could be it for Puzzlez, but still don't count him out. He does have a heroic aircraft carrier, but now the Dolphins are going to be heading for this MCV, and the MCV going to be heading for land so that the Dolphins cannot attack it. And will he try and exploit the glitch where Dolphins actually do splash damage on land? There is a glitch for that, which you should not be exploiting, because glitches are bad, and that is not fair to the other players. And going to be going for the building that is absolutely useless, and it has this power plant been spotted? I guess it has, but these Dolphins are going to be keeping an eye on this MCV anyways. So this other Dolphin is like, hey, I'll go kill this thing myself, I'll take it out. And now the MCV is the only thing left, because that power plant did get sold off for Puzzlez, and I think this will be an MCV with an assault destroyer and an aircraft carrier for backup. But the Athena Cannon does have this MCV in her sights, and she has got her heart set on destroying it. She's like, hey, I would like to kill you as the last thing I do in this game, because killing people is what I do for a living. I'm an Athena cannon, that's what I get paid for, and the Dolphins needs to be here over here for the support to help do the damage to this MCV, and Tingu has not moved them yet, which is not a good thing at all, because now, in just a few moments, he will not be able to attack this MCV, and he really should have moved the Athena cannon forward to a closer position to the MCV, and then force fired it on the ground in front of the MCV, but the Assault Destroyer, going to get frozen, and no anti-air for Puzzlez, so this could be it. Tingu could win this game, but Puzzlez is not out of it yet. The cryo shot. But it's too early, and the pack-up on the MCV, will it get frozen anyway? That tier 3 cryo shot is pretty powerful, and yes, he will get the freeze. Oh no, the chrono shift. I've been saying oh no way too many times, because this is a crazy game right now. The chrono shift and so many of these one-click powers being used, and then the Assault Destroyer getting frozen, and then the MCV almost getting frozen, and just up and down roller coaster emotionally. I don't even know what is going to happen in this game, and just freezing and then trying to destroy stuff, and just powers being used all over the place. Who is going to win? I think Tingu, but Puzzle is not out of it. The Athena cannon able to seal the deal on this MCV, do the damage that she needs to do before she's able to. Oh no, I can't even talk anymore. Aircraft carrier got taken out. It was frozen. I didn't think those infantry were in range, but they were. Puzzlez has been defeated, but he delivered an extremely awesome, entertaining game. I am jacked for this game. I cannot wait to upgrade it to a 40-minute replay. I don't know what that lag was like. Hopefully this isn't like a 50-minute game or anything. Hopefully it's right around the 40-minute mark. But look at that economy out of Tingu. That is what allowed him to win the game. And Puzzlez, even though I feel like he was playing from behind during at least half that game. But I don't know for sure. And it does look like someone is going to be pinging me. They're probably like, hey, join my custom game. I don't care who you are. I'm going to invite everyone in the lobby. But Tingu going to be winning that game. So good game to Puzzlez. I kept thinking he was out, and then he would like destroy a bridge or like get the perfect cryo shot. And just over and over again, he was like, hey, I am not out of this game. You shut up, Sybert. You don't know what you're talking about. In the end, he was out of it. And look at that Puzzlez. Look at that unit kill to death ratio. Enough to not win the game, but enough to come out ahead from Tingu, which is no small feat. This is going to be